guys, it's the Loud Guys. Today we are going to watch 17 house details in the USA that puzzle foreigners. So we will be very very interested to see this because Indian houses are very very different to US houses. Like we saw one house video, like US houses are made of cardboards and also wood, and in here you will only see cement houses, like mostly cement houses. So that is a very very big difference. So we'll need to see like what are other house details.
Only two things I would say I know about US houses is they have attic like upstairs, upside,
Yeah,
and
attics.
they have the huge basements, and kind of they are obsessed with their basements thing.
And we also have some attics, but not as big as
No,
the
they have the
USA
bigger
ones.
ones.
Yes, and garage is not a very big thing in India at this point of time. So let's watch this.
Video.
The land of the free and the home of the brave. And apparently, huge freezing cold houses with weird sockets. Wait, what's so strange about American homes? Well,
Yes, let's
anytime
go.
I invite my non-American friends over to my house, they're happy to point out how bizarre it is. For example, 1. Big houses.
Big.
First of all, not all Americans have huge houses. Plenty of people rent small apartments, and houses come in all different sizes.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll agree that the typical American home is pretty big and spacious compared to other countries.
Wow.
Where the average square footage for European houses is about 1,500 feet.
Similar,
it's
yes.
2,700 feet in the U.S. I guess the numbers don't lie. Number 2, a room for everything. To fill our giant houses, we've got a room for pretty much anything you can imagine. If you can count closets as tiny rooms, and they kind of are when you think about it.
A room for
Every
clothes.
American home has multiples of those. There are closets for clothes in each bedroom, usually one near the front door for coats and shoes, one in the bathroom or hallway for towels, one in the kitchen in the form of a pantry. Yep, we love storage space that's built into the house.
Really?
Those big wardrobes you might get from IKEA aren't really a thing here. Number 3, huge personal washers and dryers.
That we also have.
Yeah.
Speaking of rooms, there's also usually one just for doing laundry. Also, most Americans have both a washer and a separate dryer, and they tend to be big too. My European friends tell me that their washer is in the kitchen or bathroom, and they hang their clothes to dry. But again, I'm sure it comes down to the issue of space. Still, even if a person in the US doesn't have their own, they just go down to the laundromat to use the machines there. You won't see many Americans hand washing.
No, in India, hand washing is like also a thing in some places, but I think so most people have automatic machines and like they are like doing both the things. Like because what I see that they have two different machines, a washer and a dryer.
Dryer, like we have both combined. Like even I've never seen this thing like in my house because many people still use that kind of washing machine that has the wash to wash the clothes, and then they have like dryer, but they both are attached.
Yeah, but that is called semi-automatic machine.
Oh, yeah.
If only one thing they
Yeah,
can do,
huh.
and if all the thing they can do, then it is
But
automatic
in
machine.
that single thing, right?
Fully automatic.
That is automatic.
And
fully
yes,
automatic.
and like as far as laundromat is concerned, I have been to other country, also Thailand and other places. They also have this, but in India this is not a big culture. People wash their own clothes only.
Yeah.
We don't have like places to go there and wash clothes.
And if you talk about the ironing thing, then we just go to the
Yes,
like,
for
people
that
for
there
that.
is. Yes.
their clothes or hanging them to dry. I mean, who has time for that? 4, basements. And here's yet another way to have
Basements,
plenty of
yes.
storage space. Or, of course, if you're in the Midwest, basements serve as a shelter when a tornado hits. But besides storage and tornado safety, a lot of American homes have gorgeous finished basements
see the
that
house?
serve as
See the
another living
basement?
space.
Oh my God.
It might be in the form of a guest room or a recreational area to hang out in. 5. The abandoned dining room. And there are some rooms that we don't even use at all.
Why?
Okay, maybe this just applies to my family, but we never use the dining room.
Why?
It's there. We have a beautiful dining table, but we always just take our dinner to the living room and watch TV while we eat. Hey, dinner and a movie. 6. Serious about fire safety. More specifically, I'm talking about having multiple smoke alarms throughout the house.
Oh really?
I personally have one in the kitchen, another in the hallway, and one in each bedroom.
Wow.
That's what the National Fire Protection Association recommends. And I'm probably not alone in following their guidelines to a
What
T.
about smoking?
Fire safety is taken so seriously in the States that landlords can get in big trouble if they don't immediately fix a non-working smoke alarm for their tenants. And perhaps
Wow.
it's for fire safety or just a convenience thing. But I've always had an electric stove in any house I've lived in. Gas stoves aren't as popular as they are elsewhere in the
No,
world.
in India it is very popular.
7.
Yeah.
Wall-to-wall carpeting. This point will often depend on how old a house is, because a lot of the old ones have wooden floors. But most homes, especially the newer ones, have wall-to-wall carpeting in every room. Well,
Very
not
hard
the
to
kitchen
clean.
or bathroom, of course, but everywhere else, it's carpeted. Is this really just an American thing? If you're from another country, you'll have to let me know down below.
Similar to UK.
8. How
My-
low can you go?
How low?
Now, my European friends find my toilet quite fascinating and mildly confusing. I guess toilets in the US sit lower than the ones in Europe do.
Oh.
It's not because we're necessarily shorter or that it's more comfortable for us. Low-sitting toilets actually serve a purpose. Being closer to the ground is a healthier and more natural way to, do your numbers. Before we even had commodes, our caveman ancestors squatted on the ground. So, just
What do you mean by caveman ancestors? In India, we still do that. Not everyone, but yes, a lot of people
A
in
lot
India
of
still
people
do that.
use it, but if you go behind that, so it's also a yoga pose, so it's actually good for your health. He's actually right, because if you do that, people make fun of the like Indian toilets and all, but it is actually very helpful.
Yes, so we are not cavemen, but yes, we do that.
trying to keep it all natural over here. And, well, civilized too, of course. 9. Toilet bowls full of water.
Whoa!
You didn't think I was done talking about toilets, did you? Okay, one more toilet fact for the day. In the US, they're full of water.
Huh?
On his first visit to the States, one of my friends actually thought my toilet was clogged. Nope, all that water is totally normal and serves several purposes as well.
What?
First of all, it keeps the bowl from getting too dirty and staining the porcelain. That way, we don't have to use the brush as often. It also minimizes smells. But there is a downside of more splashing,
Yes!
if you know
Yes!
what I mean. And I think you do.
I understand.
10. One faucet to rule them all. I haven't done a lot of traveling, but I have been to the UK, and I was flabbergasted by the separate faucets in the bathroom. How do you guys use those anyways? I have to wash my hands under scalding hot or freezing cold water separately.
Oh.
Jump back and forth
In
between
India
the
also
two.
it is one.
In the US, sinks always have just one faucet, and you can customize the temperature of the water however you like.
Yes.
Now, as for getting that perfect temperature when you're taking a shower, don't even get me started on that.
Yeah, very tough.
11.
Very tough.
Crank up the AC. Yeah, most of us leave the AC running all through the summer instead of opening a window or using a fan.
Why?
Probably not the most cost-efficient solution, especially in a big house, but it just feels so nice. The same goes for cranking the heat up in the winter. You won't see many radiators in the US. 12.
I think that in
Wearing
this
shoes.
matter, Indians are a bit more stingy and will be like, no, that too much AC, you need to get the open air. And you would see this in afternoon, but in evening and at night, we would just see the open air.
Yeah,
feel the
because
open
it is very essential. Even I can't sit like more than 2 to 3 hours in AC, because it just started paining my like bones. And it is very important to like have a natural air. And even you won't believe, like we do sleep in summers like on terrace, just to get that fresh air and the night full of stars.
I think so. The bone problem is your problem.
And
You are
that
getting
is my
old.
personal law.
Shoes inside.
Wearing shoes inside.
Most of the world has a pretty strict policy about taking your shoes off at the front
Yes,
door.
in India also.
But that's not really the case here. Most families are totally okay with wearing shoes inside around the house, as long as they're not muddy or anything.
Oh.
Sure, there are those American families that don't do it. So, if you're ever in the States, it's customary to ask if you need to
Yeah,
take your
take my
shoes off
shoes
at the
off.
front door. Most of the time, the answer will be, nah, you're fine. 13.
What about the carpets?
Switchless sockets.
Switchless.
Now, apparently in Europe, you have a switch to either allow the power to flow by turning a button on or cutting it by
Yes,
switching
same
it
in
off.
India.
Yeah.
In America, you don't have this option. And that's most likely because of the fact that we have a lower voltage running through our sockets. So the risk of shocking yourself when you unplug something without turning the socket off first isn't as high.
Oh.
14. No tea kettle in
But
the kitchen.
still risky.
The US is mostly a coffee drinking country, so we don't really use tea kettles.
Tea kettle.
And if you're thinking, well, what about a kettle to boil water for instant coffee?
Yeah.
The answer to that, my friend, is that most homes have a coffee maker to brew it fresh.
Wow.
15. Garbage disposals. Ah, yes, the convenience of rinsing your plate right in the sink, flipping the switch, and sending all that ground up food down the drain.
Wow.
Garbage disposals are a lot more common in the States. In fact, over 50% of American homes have one. I imagine it comes down to better sanitation and avoiding raunchy smells coming from your trash can.
This is better actually.
16. Flags everywhere. Americans really do love to display the old Star Spangled Banner.
India
So
is
most
also
homes
somewhere
here
near.
have
Yeah.
at least one hanging outside the house. But it's not just our national flag we like to hoist. A lot of people have a flag with their favorite football team or the college they went to on it. What can I say? We like flags.
Nice.
Wow.
17. Pristine lawns.
Wow.
And finally, surrounding that big house full of rooms, closets, carpet, and weird sockets, we have our
best
beautiful
thing.
lawns.
This is I like.
Best.
Okay, the perfect pristine kind are usually only found in the suburbs. But in general, Americans like to take care of their yard. Plus, most neighborhoods have rules about it. Even if you don't want to,
Rules.
you often have to keep your lawn mowed and free
Wow.
of leaves or
This
clutter.
is very
Yes.
good.
Everything's got to look nice and clean.
So there is one thing I can't get over is the toilet thing. Like, why do you put so much water? Because if there is so much water, then of course splashing would be a very big problem. Like, you know, when there is even small water, then also there is some splash. And now when there is so much water, then flood will come.
So we saw a lot of details about the American houses, and he is concerned about that splashing of water.
Important thing, no?
It is
You go 2
important.
to 3 times a day, or like 2 at least times a day.
Yeah, that is a very important part. And if we talk about the carpet thing, so I think we in Indian houses there are no carpets, and also we compulsory remove our shoes before entering into the houses. We do have like separate shoes or slippers for our house, like to roam around or something, but we do remove the shoes before entering into the house.
Yes, also there was another image of the washroom, and like there was a cut
Gosh.
on the seat, like on the front part there was a cut. I don't know why there was a cut.
Really?
Yeah, there was, a cut. Like the seat was not like united. It was a cut. I don't know why. Like just to put my piece there. Why would they put a cut there?
I have noticed that.
I noticed it. So what do you guys know about it? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share, and
Subscribe.
bye.